One very important reason that absolutely nobody has covered. The presidential race in the United States comes down to one thing, one single thing. People think maybe it's policy. People thought, some people will tell you that this was the election of immigration. People who got their projections wrong were saying this is going to be the election of abortion. I said here that it's the election of maybe hate. It's the election of podcasts. And wasn't I right about that? But none of that is important as the one single major identifier in all of the last elections. And I don't know why we didn't realize it until now. It is Riz. It's Riz. It's always been Riz. It is Sigma Skibbity Toilet Riz. I don't actually know if that's double negatives or if that makes it a positive, or I don't know what type of Riz it is, but it is Riz. That's what it is. I wanted to check. I wanted to verify my theory. This is a scientific endeavor here at the Joey Show. We fact check here sometimes when I feel like it. And so I went through the last elections, and let's just go through and see what you think. Okay? Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Donald Trump has the Riz advantage. Donald Trump wins. Now, this right out of the gate is probably one of the largest challenges to the entire concept. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Now, a lot of you are already saying, hey, wait, Biden does not have the same Riz as Trump. 2020 was a different time. 2020 was a very different time. One, aberration, COVID. Two, Trump was kind of in raving lunatic mode. He stays there a lot, but he wasn't as fun as he is right now. He was mad, he was angry, he was flailing, he was struggling. And Joe Biden did have a certain Riz that I think people forget. He had not fully lost it yet. He was still very on the ball, and he kind of had a no more of that malarkey, Jack. And people liked that, and people were done with Donald Trump. He's a less popular figure than you would believe. So Biden wins that one. Let's go back to this. We have Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. Riz advantage. Donald Trump. Okay. Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney. Riz advantage. Barack Obama. Okay. Barack Obama, John McCain. Riz advantage. Barack Obama. George W. Bush, John Kerry. Riz advantage. George W. Bush. Look at this. Need I remind you? George W. Bush, Al Gore, maybe a little bit closer, but the main thing in that conversation was, I'd rather have a beer with the guy. You know what that is? That is early 2000s speak for Riz advantage. Bill Clinton, Bob Dole. Bruh, come on. That's not even close. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush versus Michael Dukakis. Who is Michael Dukakis? Good question. Let's look at him. Holy fuck, look at that guy. No, thank you. If you're just listening to the program, I'm just going to say nose-eyebrow combination disqualifying. Maybe some great ideas. Maybe he knows a lot about policy. No one votes for policy. You think people want to do their homework and take their vitamins? No. People want to go out, crush brews, okay, and vote for whoever has more Riz. That's what politics is. It is a high school popularity contest. Ronald Reagan versus Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale, resting serial killer eyes. Fine. Ronald Reagan, movie star. Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. I mean, guys, so Ronald Reagan has more Riz than Jimmy Carter. Okay, who did Jimmy Carter face? How did he win? Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, more Riz than Ford. So now we're kind of getting out of my depth here. I think Nixon, McGovern, maybe we have a battle here, but we're at a point now where we've just gone too far, okay, where I can't really accurately assess Riz across generations. It makes a difference. Now, this is obviously a very serious thing. Some people are very happy today. A lot of people are very upset today, understandably so. Especially if you care about specific issues, if you care about abortion, if you care about the treatment of undocumented immigrants, if you care about government corruption and what Trump is going to potentially do in terms of deregulating crypto and other scams that he's already involved in that him and his family stand to spend money on. Sure, it's a very sad day. That's not what we're doing here at this show, okay? I have my own feelings. I have my own emotions, but I set that aside to deliver the type of important journalism that's fun here at the Joey Show. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have fun because that's what this is about. If you want to make change in the political environment, you need to be having more fun. You need to exude maximum riz at all times. That's my message to you. You want to be effective in your life. You want to be effective at your job. You want to make change in the world. Dial your motherfucking riz up, stupid, or you're screwed. You have to dial it in, okay? That's why I have a bucket hat on. It's why I have sunglasses on. It's why I've been exuding this vibe since I came out of the pussy. You have to have riz, all right? It matters. Think about this, okay? I was thinking about this. You remember the pickup artists? Some book. I think I've mentioned it on this show before. Because when I was in college, I was single. All right, and a friend of mine was like, there's this book. I have talked about it. I talked about it in one of the episodes where I was sitting under a tree. The Pickup Artist. It's this book. The sides of the pages are painted gold. And essentially, the whole concept is, I'm going to teach you how to get chicks. And it's a bunch of really gross, really disgusting tactics that are supposed to trick the small-brained female, I'm paraphrasing, into sucking your cock. If you go through these are things people would portend are ways to riz people up. Obviously, I've said riz 45 times. If you don't know what it is, it's a very cool, very young, very hip piece of slang that's probably already no longer cool, young, and hip. That is basically just short for charisma. It means having that fucking... You know what it is. A little je ne sais quoi. A little bit of that French mouth. You know what I mean? I better for kissing. You got to have riz. Now, the pickup artist has a few rules. They're weird rules. They're meant to trick women. But what are some of them? Think about it. Ooh, peacocking. Peacocking. Who is better at peacocking than Donald Trump? He has had, and I'm speaking from experience, a stupid but recognizable haircut, hoo-ha, just like daddy, for too long of a time. It is a trademark. It's ridiculous, but people remember it. They think about it. It sticks out. I've been thinking about changing my haircut to something that looks better, but I haven't done it yet because I still need people to scroll by my reels and go, oh, that guy, and then recognize me on a comedy show flyer. I should wear less hats than I do, but I like them. It's the only way to add an extra piece to the wardrobe, and that's very important to me. That's one of my riz factors. Always got to be looking kind of nice. Always got to be. Donald Trump, peacocks. That's number one. That's like the number one pickup artist thing. So if you ever see like a weird, like nerdy looking guy with like a crazy pink mohawk or wearing a stupid furry top hat, looking like he's going to like, fuck you in his Burning Man tent, that guy read a book because he didn't know how to get poontang on his own. So he's good at peacocking. What's another thing? What's the main thing? Let's remember the pickup artist. The next main thing, negging. It's negging. What did he do? How did he win the Hispanic vote? Respectfully, he played very hard to get. I've never tried that strategy. I've never been at a party and had some guy walk in and been like, that guy's a rapist. And then, he walks by a little bit later and I'm like, nah, I love you. I love you. I like the hardworking people. Maybe that works because maybe you're so taken aback that then you go, oh, actually, he does like me. I think that's the concept behind negging in this sexual arena. What are some of the other ones here? I found a list online. I don't have these top of mind because you can't teach game as natural and flawless as your boy, plus I'm married. Let's see. Compliance tests. Get me that drink of water turns into pick me up 24/7 and don't say shit. Compliance tests. That's what he does. Will you do this for me? Will you do that for me? Hey, call up the governor. I need you to find some votes. That is a very bad thing. It's not funny, but this is a comedy show, and we're speaking truth. Truth to power. Now, so look at that. I mean, that's right there. Trauma reminders. He's big about, yeah. Men will make light joke about trauma you tell them in your vulnerable state. They'll make light of it and gain control over you. Boom. He does that all the time. I mean, these are just exactly what he does. So have I come up with the defining metric for future elections? The answer to that is obviously yes. The answer to that is yes, because the polls were wrong. You know, I listened to a bunch of experts leading up to this. They were like, this is going to be close. I went out with some friends in New York. I would say not a lot of them were in voting for Trump. So we went out to a bar, and then very quickly it was like, I don't think this is going to be a celebratory evening. So now here we are. He has won. He has won again. And we have entered my least favorite part of the political calendar, which is watching some of the worst people you know be happy. God, I hate that. I hate that so much. Even when it's the person that I voted for, I see the most annoying person ever posting Instagram stories about it, and I'm going, hey, don't forget, you're a fucking idiot. And you're not right about that, even though you won. But everyone's been very animated about this one. I think, and I don't mean to be a both sides guy, but there are good takeaways for both parties in this election. If you are a Trump person, you're very happy today. You're gonna win the popular vote. You've won. You're going back to the White House. You don't have to go to jail. That's a good day. And I guess they've taken the Senate so they can do whatever shit they want to do. Or if that's nothing, I don't really know what is going to happen. On the Democrat side, I think you needed a nice steady blowout here, because I have a very novel concept. It's a light pitch. It's something that I would, if we have people from the Democratic Party who listen to this program and work, if Kamala Harris is listening to this, or Barack Obama, or Michelle, I know Michelle loves the show, or Hunter Biden, who we do know loves the show. Shout out to the 12. Here's just a thought. A kind of a fun piece of advice that I came up with that I think what might work is to have a good candidate in the general election. Consider holding a primary where people vote. It's an idea. It's radical. I don't know. It's kind of like a future classic. It's a retro banger. It's is it backwards looking? Is it forwards looking? Is it revolutionary? Is it genius? Is it all of those things? I think it is, because it might be that instead of trying to assume you know what the people will want, you let them guide you. Thank God I have a podcast.